All right, so keeping in line with the previous video in terms of benefits, we're going to talk about 5 benefits of, one of my favorite things, intermittent fasting. Quickly before we start, this video is sponsored by Lumen. For the first 100 people that click the link down in the description box below, you will get the Lumen for $50 off. Now, if you do intermittent fasting, and I'm sure a lot of you do, then it should be no secret to you why I love Lumen. Because it is a device, a respiratory exchange ratio device, the only one of its kind that can tell you if you're burning carbs or fat simply by breathing into it. And the data just gets sent to your phone. If you're doing intermittent fasting, you want to make sure you're not over fasting. If you're fasting, going to sleep, waking up, breathing into the Lumen, and seeing that you're still burning carbs when you should have already depleted your glycogen during your fast and start burning fat, then glucose neogenesis is probably taking place, where your body is breaking down muscle. And this is not a good thing, because muscle is the primary driver for your metabolic rate, which means you're reducing your ability to lose weight because you're reducing your ability to burn more calories via your metabolic rate. So stop playing a guessing game. Some people can fast for 20 hours and that's their threshold. Others can fast for 23 and that's their threshold. Some just for 16, some just for 17, some just for 18. Click the link down in the description box below. Get yourself a Lumen and know for sure what's your biological intermittent fasting threshold, so you can be as effective as possible with intermittent fasting. Now let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Number 1, it's incredibly customizable. Yes, you can do 16 hours of fasting, or 20 hours of fasting, or 23 hours of fasting, or alternate day fasting. You can do 18 hours, 15 hours, 12 hours, 17 hours. There's no rules to how long you would want to fast in terms of setting up your initial fast window, right? You can basically tailor it around your work schedule. When do you go into work? When do you come out of work? Are you going to eat while you're at work during lunch? Are you not? Are you going to do it before you go to work? Are you going to be fasting throughout the time that you're working? All of this can be tailored and basically customized to your lifestyle and what makes the most sense to you, what's easier for you to do. And that is one of the biggest entry points to intermittent fasting, is its immense flexibility. Now let's move on to number 2. It helps you with your body's energy distribution. And the reason that I say this is because it creates a straighter line towards burning body fat for you than other more traditional diets. And the reason it does this is because it creates a metabolic switch over that forces your body to use body fat as fuel, turns your body fat into ketones, because your brain does need sugar or glucose to be able to power it. And when you deplete that because you haven't eaten, then your brain will use your body fat as a substitute and actually changes those fatty acids into ketones to kind of mimic that energy that glucose would provide for your brain. Therefore, just off of the nature of your body having to do that process, you are targeting more of your body fat as opposed to targeting other parts of your body like muscle and even glycogen, since you've depleted it already. It's a very good tool to help your body focus on burning more body fat. Number 3, it removes grazing, which is one of the leading causes for overeating, which then leads to being overweight. So what is grazing if you don't know? It is simply snacking and eating things, little things here and there throughout the entire day. Now, with intermittent fasting, because you give yourself a eating window and a fasting window, you're creating a situation where you are cognizant of the fact that if you eat right now and it's outside of your window, you are breaking your fast. This helps you not eat outside of your window, thus helping you not continue to graze throughout the entire day. Now, you might graze during your eating window, but you're not going to graze 24 hours. every moment throughout the day is not going to be an opportunity for you to eat something, and that will reduce the amount of grazing that you're doing, because I call them the invisible walls, but they're the invisible walls because once you are within those walls, within the rules of whatever intermittent fasting system you set up, you're hyper aware. You're hyper aware of the foods that you're eating when you are breaking your fast, and you're hyper aware of not eating when you're in your fast. It's almost like a psychological tool to help you stay on course. And one of the reasons why when participants in studies are given the ability to eat ad libitum, which means as much as they want, as compared to other groups, those who do intermittent fasting tend to lose more weight because of that cognitive awareness. Now let's go ahead and move on to number 4. It's easier to do than other more complicated diets. There have been countless situations where people give up on diets simply because they cannot stick to it on a daily basis. While intermittent fasting, there isn't much of a change in terms of what you're eating, although you should be making sure that you're getting all of your nutrients in when you eat regardless. But there isn't really so much of a shift in terms of what you like, what you eat, what you normally do, as opposed to just being a shift of when you eat those things that you like, when you're eating healthy and nutritious. It's just a shift of when those things happen, as opposed to focusing on all of the little nuances that come with understanding the food, how to prepare it, what to do with it, things of that nature. Shifting the things that you're eating to new foods that you've never eaten before, that you have to kind of learn how to cook and put together. This is not a shift in that. It's just a shift in time. And number 5, bouncing off of that, it is the chameleon diet, because you can mix and match with basically almost every other diet. For example, if you want to do the DASH diet, you can do the DASH diet while intermittent fasting. If you want to eat the Mediterranean diet, you can go ahead and do that as well. If you want to incorporate being a vegan or being a vegetarian, you can do that as well while still using the intermittent fasting system. It's essentially the chameleon diet that can mix and match with almost any other diet that exists, because it's not based on the food items, it's based on time. So whatever food item you prefer, you can still do that and intermittent fasting all at the same time. Hopefully this video has helped you guys. And of course, as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.